Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Q. You know we're on back. Another video. Thank y'all for kicking it with your boy Q today, guys. Probably ready to start the video, man. That's right, guys. Red had actually crossed over 100,000 miles. I think right now I'm at like 101,000 miles or something like that. So I want to do a video, man, 100,000 mile review ownership of my 2015 F150 3.5 Ecoboost. A lot of people talk, there's a lot of controversy about the Ecoboost engine. These are reliable. So I'm just gonna share my experience and ownership with it. I bought it at 43,000 miles. Like I said, it's now over 100,000 miles. So I think I got a lot to share. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. Before we get started, if you're your first time watching my channel, I'm gonna briefly talk about the setup of the truck. It is on a 6-inch rough country lift kit. I do have Vertex coilovers up in there as well. My wheels currently are 24x14s, wrapped in 37-inch Nitto tires. I also do run a set of 24x12s, more for a daily driver setup. I did have a show recently, go back and watch that video, LST, so I put the bigger setup on. So to start the video off, we're gonna talk about what I like, things I love about the Ecoboost in my 2015 truck. The first thing I really love about this truck, bro, is the performance of the 3.5 Ecoboost engine, bro. This truck performs so well and is so fast. Even with this setup on here, 37 24x14s, this truck hauls this setup like nothing. Like it really can just pull this all day, every day. I've gotten up to speeds in this truck with this setup that you'd be like, wow. The performance of this thing will blow your mind. If you go from a 5.0 to a 3.5 Ecoboost, or probably even a 2.7, you notice the difference in performance instantly. Now, I have not towed with this truck. It's not a tow truck. Does it look like it tow? No, it does not tow. She is a pavement princess, so go ahead and save your comments. And now just save it, guys. Regardless, we all know these 3.5 Ecoboosts do perform very, very well, guys. People don't give the Ecoboost enough respect when it comes to performance. And also, my truck is tuned, so it is not a stock truck. I don't know how much horsepower it's putting down. I never got a dyno, but I'm telling you, bro, when you take off, this thing will put you in your back seat. It's gonna plant you a little bit, man. It really does haul out. The performance of this thing is great. It's so much fun when you just get on it and you hit those turbos, and you can feel when the turbos kick in. I personally love the performance. As we move along to the back of the truck here, my next favorite thing is the turbo spool, the exhaust sound, guys. Now, let me just say this, low RPMs only. I'm gonna say low RPMs. I'm gonna be honest with you. When you get this thing up high RPM, I do have a full exhaust system on here I'm about to get into. I have an AWE full exhaust system. This thing sounds so good at startup and like low speed, low idle, like, you know, like 20, about 5, 10 miles an hour. You hear those turbos, but when you get up on it, it does get a little raspy. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all hear here really quick. Man, y'all hear the sound of this thing sounds so good. I love the turbo whistle. Sometimes I literally just drive around low speeds and I think I found another clip or something in there. I try to put in there, just like lightly accelerating on it. But man, I mean, the turbo sound, bro, of this thing sounds just so freaking good. And I know people have issues with the turbos, but I know the sound of this thing kind of get a lot of flack too. There's a V6, you know, and all that. But man, you get the proper setup on here like I have, exhaust, tune, all that. These turbos sound really, really good. And I get a lot of compliments on it, bro. This thing whistles like for real. I don't have any downpipes or turbo adapters. I just have a full exhaust, a tune, cold air intake. Really is it for the most part. Speaking of exhaust and performance and things like that, fuel efficient. These engines are very fuel efficient. Even now on my setup currently, I'm averaging probably about 15. Let's go look really quick. I did just take a long trip down to Houston, as I said, guys. So the MPG is gonna be kind of skewed a little bit because I was cruising. But generally in the city here day to day, I average anywhere between 13 to about 14 MPG. But let's see where we at now. We are averaging 15.6 MPG, guys. Like I said, even with 37 24x12, again, I was cruising, but even then, cruising on the highway with this setup, bro, and still almost averaging 16 miles a gallon on a 6-inch lift kit. This is not the most aerodynamic truck, you know. It's really not. It's a freaking brick going down the road. I think stock, these things get up like correct me wrong, 18 to 21 mpg is what I think they rated for. I mean, you can't go wrong with that, bro. Almost 16 mpg on a lifted truck on 37s and 24x14s. The next thing, guys, before I climb into the interior, people might cut me slack for this one, is gonna be reliability. These 3.5 EcoBoost engines, even the 2.7, and I believe the 2.7 is a little more reliable than the 3.5. These things are reliable, bro. I see people over 200,000, 300,000 miles on these EcoBoost engine, bro. Now, I'm not saying it's gonna be a clean 300,000 miles, you're not gonna have any issues. You're gonna have issues just like with any car, bro. If you own it for a long period of time, you're gonna have maintenance issues. Sorry, the wind. I picked like the worst spot to do. It's like a wind tunnel in here. You're gonna have issues you own any vehicle long enough. But these things have shown to be reliable and they run for a very long time. I actually think Ford produces this engine now more than any other engine I think they're making. I'm gonna get into some of the maintenance things I have done later in the video, but so far in my 55,000 miles ownership of the truck, it's been freaking reliable. And I hate to say that because usually when I say that, something will break. I really don't want to say that, but I mean, it really has been. I really can't fault it. Lastly, I think just the look of the truck. A lot of people say this is the best year of the F-150, the 15 to 17s. Most people say this is their best looking truck they made over the last, what, 8, 9, almost 10 years. Everybody like it, and honestly, I love the style of this thing. It's almost timeless. Like, it just doesn't look like an old truck. It never looks old. Like, you know, some trucks, they just kind of look old over a while. This thing doesn't. It look new. A lot of people, even when I'm out and about, when I tell people it's a 2015, they're like, bro, it looks like a brand new freaking truck. And this body style is just like timeless almost, bro. Like, I don't even know why people are selling. A lot of people are selling these trucks to get new ones. I get it. This thing is like timeless. Like one thing you can have for a long time and it just looks good. And speaking of just looks good, let's go to the interior. The interior of this thing, bro, it's just a timeless interior, dude. Like, it's just a good looking interior, man. Like, you can't go wrong with it. You got the gauge cluster, LED blue lights. Of course, you got the big screen in there. I did get the leather seats added because this is an XLT trim, so that was not in here, but tons of space, bro. Like, this truck is so freaking spacious. I can fit 4 adults in here, like, no problem at all. Like, just tons of space, bro. The interior of this truck is just solid, bro. I really love it. It's a great look, if you can see in there, man. It's just been solid. Like, there's nothing falling apart. I don't have stuff hanging anywhere. Like, it's just a well put together cabin, and honestly I think it's pretty quiet too. For my experience, I would say this is a pretty quiet cabin. Now, we've been getting to some of the dislikes. What I'm about to say, you got to take with a grain of salt, because honestly, like I said, my truck has been pretty reliable to this point. The thing people hate the most about these trucks, the EcoBoost engine guys, is going to be the maintenance. And primarily what I'm talking about maintenance, I'm talking about the turbos. If you know, yes, this thing does have turbos, and if we know turbos fail, they have lines running to the turbo that can corrode. You got filters in the turbos. If you don't maintain this vehicle properly, yes, you can run into some headache. And yes, like I said, over time, you own any vehicle for an amount of time, you're going to run into issues. This is part of the game. One wise man always told me, he said, you're either gonna be paying for a car, no, you're gonna be paying for maintenance. You're gonna be paying for something. You're never gonna be riding skate free, I'm just telling you. So a lot of people get these trucks crap because of the turbos. And yes, the repairs are expensive. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had something happen, I'm gonna explain here soon. Yes, the repairs, they are and can be expensive when it comes to the turbos on this truck. Honestly, besides that, also another big issue with these trucks for my year, I think 15, 16, are the cam phasers. I think something else like with the manifold, something that wraps or something like that. With that, a lot of people tend to talk negatively about the truck. You do have to run full synthetic oil, which is what I've always done on this truck. Really, it probably just the maintenance, the potential maintenance issues you can run into with the turbos. Honestly, that's really the biggest thing and probably the biggest drawback. Now let's get into my repair costs, bills I've had to pay due to the truck maybe breaking down. We're gonna start with the main one. We're gonna go ahead and kick it off with the turbo, guys. I did have a passenger side coolant line turbo leak to this truck. Whatever material, whatever they use to run that coolant line to the turbo is very notorious on these Fords. Those lines tend to corrode and start leaking coolant. I had that one on the passenger, and the guy told me, he was like, bro, you're probably gonna get it on the driver. It's just how it goes on this year model. It's notorious for it. The bill was like, what, $1,800, almost $2,000. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, that right there is a little scary. I get it, trust me. And let me say this, all the maintenance issues I'm about to name and repairs literally just started happening right around 90-some thousand miles. For the first 4 or 5 years I own this truck, it has been flawless until as of late. It's getting old, she's getting up there. I stress it a lot. The truck has been on the lift kit, wheels and tires since I bought it. So it's not like I'm just putting a daily driver around here. But yes, it is a scary bill. I'm telling you, when I saw it, I was like, dang, for a coolant line leak, but it's really just the maintenance to get to the turbos and repair. Along with that, somebody else commented, said that, hey, if they ever replace a coolant line or anything, they should go in there and replace the filter in the turbo. It's something you may have to ask them to do, because those filters apparently get clogged up and can cause issues as well. So if you ever run into the turbo issue like that, hey, make sure they replace the filter. I don't know if they did in mine, to be honest with you. I found that out after the fact, but it kind of is what it is. The next thing that happened to me as far as maintenance is my throttle body. I did have to get a brand new throttle body on this truck as the old one got clogged. Again, throttle bodies can get clogged on the 5.0. It don't really matter. It has nothing to do with the truck being an EcoBoost. It's just a throttle body. They on all trucks. I think that was close to almost $800 to $1,000 for that repair. Probably did it myself, save some money, yes, but y'all know me. If you don't know me, first time watching the channel, I don't like to work on my own truck. But if you do know me, you know I like to work on my own truck. Next repair I had to climb into the inside for this one. My freaking heater. After one summer, I go in and turn the heat on, and it just did not work. It did not blow any hot air at all. Wouldn't get hot. So I had to get a brand new actuator and something else. Apparently whatever they thought was gonna replace it kept blowing the fuse. So the heater would work for a little bit and blow a fuse. So they had to replace like an actuator and something else. That repair was pretty expensive, guy, I'll be honest with you. I think that was close to almost $2,000 as well. And I'm like, bro, for my heater, I'm like, you sure it's not just needing some, I was about to say Freon, that's for the AC, but I'm like, man, you sure it's not just needing something like recharge? I don't know. But the heater stopped working. Again, that has nothing to do with the truck being an EcoBoost or anything like that. You comment below if you own this truck and any of your F150s, whatever year, you had an issue with your heater going. I'm curious, like, if that's a Ford thing or is that just I had bad luck thing. And as we move on to the back here, guys, the last thing, my other repair I just had recently, literally just had this like a month ago, was my rear pinion seal started leaking. Yep, it started leaking right there where the drive shaft slips up to the rear differential. That is a very, very common truck issue, guys. And again, I'm running a big setup, man, so I'm putting a lot more strain on it than a normal stock truck would. Again, the truck has been lifted since I owned it over 50,000+ miles. Just another very common issues with these F-150s is their rear pinion seal leak. Other than that, guys, that's it, bro. That was the only issues I have had with this truck in my ownership of it over 100,000 miles. And only one of those had to do with it being an EcoBoost. I say all that to say, people talk crap about these trucks, bro, the EcoBoost engine, mainly because of the sound in the turbos. But to date, and I want to knock on wood or knock on my head, bro, my truck has been pretty reliable. It has been. I really can't even be mad at the truck. I actually tow these setups daily down the road, and it does it over and over again repeatedly with no issues, bro. So it really has been a great truck to me, and I really don't ever want to get rid of it. I don't believe, like, I love this truck. You know, it was my first, well, it was my second truck, but my first real, like, gift to myself. It started this whole channel thing too for me, you know. People always tell me sell it, sell it, sell it. I'm like, why sell it? Nothing's wrong with it. It's running fine, you know. If it gets to the point where I'm dumping more money into it, okay, I get it. But it hasn't reached that point. Until it does, I'm gonna keep it, bro. There's nothing wrong with the truck. If you're looking for F-150, man, just do your homework. If you're gonna get an EcoBoost engine, just know, yes, the repair can come with the turbos failing and things like that. It's part of the game. I know a guy, he has over 300,000 miles on his EcoBoost. He said he had to replace both turbos already, but that's 300,000 miles, bro. So he got his money out of the truck. If you want performance, you wanna go fast, unless you plan to turbocharge a V8 Coyote, then yeah, you can go that route. But if you just want stock power, a V6 twin turbo EcoBoost, bro, and you put a tune on that joint, it's gonna freaking fly. I'm telling you right now, these things freaking fly. Personally, I love my truck, bro. I love the EcoBoost. I love the turbo whistle. Comment below what your EcoBoost, what mileage you at, what you got, or you just want a 5.0, you like the EcoBoost, you hate them, why you hate them, had a bad experience, yeah, let me know. Anyway, it's your boy Q. I'll catch y'all next, baby. Peace.